outdoor ministry grow and become vital and vibrant ministries.
Well, I might share another quick connection there. This last June 7th, Mary and I celebrated our 50th wedding anniversary at Camp Lutherland, and the family was glad to have it there. Randy and the staff were just so welcoming. I was just so impressed. A lot of the young people and the staff coming in were on board there, and we were there for breakfast, and they held back and insisted that we get through the line first. I mean, that was just very impressive, but it's that type of partnering, you know, that has been so great in the history of Camp Lutherland. Had a wonderful event there, and we re-upped for another 50 years. So.
Very good.
But during that time, we went out, and part of that, we had a service of dedication of the site. We walked from the dining hall and went over there, dedicated the site, and then on down into the Glen for a communion and worship service. It was a very special day in our lives.
Well, I'm not surprised to hear you describe that kind of a relationship and the camp hosting that way. I know that's always been an important part of Randy's vision for the camp, as well as to foster those relationships with individuals, congregations, the wider synod. That relationship is a healthy one, and certainly sends blessings and benefits in both directions. We are going to have to take a short break. One more interruption, and then we'll come back for our final segment. We'll be right back. We're back again on Lutherans Alive with Pastor Randy Gullickson from Camp Lutherland and Frank Baker from St. John's Lutheran Church in Katanning, talking about the newly emerging building, worship center. For Randy, as we were talking, you wanted to share a bit more about the construction features, and we want to give you the opportunity to do that now.
You may know, or perhaps you don't, that Lutherland built the first straw bale residence in western Pennsylvania, actually, as part of our Terra Day homestead. And I believe that's been featured on the program before.
Yes.
But we are using that same style of construction here in the Worship and Music Center. It will be a post and beam construction in general, and then straw bale infill, which has a couple of nice advantages. One is the insulation value for heating, and the other is that it will create a silent space. No outside sound will be, no ambient sound will be interfering with the silence of the interior, which should make it a very good meditational sort of space. It'll be stuccoed on the outside, plastered on the inside. The floor will be radiant heat, so people can sit on it, and we can use cushions or pillows or whatever. And that's a part of the flexibility and the hospitality of the building. We mentioned before, and maybe now's the time to talk about it, the labyrinth. The Chart labyrinth will be embedded in the floor in some manner that we haven't yet decided upon, but Trinity Lutheran Church in Butler, the youth group, took that on as their own project, and they've raised close to $6,000 to fund the labyrinth, and that's particularly exciting, because one of the things we've discovered as we've been doing some things with labyrinth work at camp is that our young people really get a kick out of it. It's engaging for them, and they like doing it, and that wasn't something we expected. We thought maybe this would be one of those things that adults, who can be silent and meditative and all of that would be engaged with, but the kids have really taken a shine to it.
Well, it's certainly a new experience for those that have grown up in the Lutheran tradition. But that's been my experience too, is when folks have that first opportunity to experience it, it does have a way of drawing you in.
So that will be one of those things. It's also part of the reason for intentionally designing all the flexibility into the room, is that there will be no fixed furniture that interferes with the use of the labyrinth. So it will be available for people who simply want to come and walk and pray the labyrinth. So that's one of its ongoing daily uses, I hope.
It's interesting to hear you describe the construction as well, because those that are familiar with Lutheran are aware of the concern for care of the earth and conservation of energy and resources, and this would seem to be one more piece in that that falls into place at camp.
Mary and I have done labyrinths a couple places, one up at Chautauqua, and we love it. It's a way to center yourself spiritually. There's no particular rules for it, but I like the concept that certainly it's not a maze. We want to point that out. It's open, it's obvious, there are no traps, no wrong turns. But as you go in, you can release and leave the cares and worries aside. And then when you get to the center of the labyrinth, you receive from the Holy Spirit and get renewed. And then as you return, you go back out into the world to carry your regeneration, your recharging, carrying it back out into the world. So it can be used in a number of ways, and we're quite excited about that concept. Mm-hmm. This will be an 11 circuit labyrinth in 4 quadrants. It's patterned after the one at Short, as Pastor Randy said. It was built in the 1200s, I believe it was, back in the Middle Ages. So.
Yes. Looking at it in a small print on page is very different than actually being in a room size labyrinth where you can actually enter into it and become a part of that experience. So we hope many people will have the opportunity and the experience to be on the labyrinth in the Worship and Music Center when it's completed. Frank, we don't have a whole lot of time left today, but I really did want to make sure that you had enough time to express a little bit for the viewers the perspective of someone who looks at a ministry like Camp Lutheran and is inspired enough to say, I want to do something there, I want to make a difference, I want to help make that ministry grow and be meaningful to the people who come there. Could you talk a little bit about how you came to that place and what motivates you to be that kind of a supporter for this ministry?
I'll try to, Pastor Harold. As I said at the outset, we feel we've been richly blessed, and we like to return part of that in appreciation and gratitude for what we have received. An anthem that we used to sing in college choir, the words of that have all stuck with me. It says, "'Tis all in vain that you profess the doctrines of your church unless you live according to its creed." Mm-hmm. And so we try to put faith into action and try to do something that does more than just give lip service to it. So as I've said, we feel there's nothing better to invest in than this for the future of our young people, and to carry the saving grace of Jesus and the blueprint of how we should live for this world that sorely needs it, to carry that out. So we're glad to be able to do it.
And we're thankful that you're able to give that expression today, and hopefully others will catch the vision and understand the importance of being supportive of worthwhile ministries and being able to enable others to experience such meaningful things as well. Lutheran, of course, is by now a long time presence in our synod and has been an influence and had an impact on many lives, and we're privileged today to have an opportunity to help tell the story, and we hope many people will take advantage of stopping into the Worship and Music Center when they're at Lutheran. We are actually at the end of our time today, though. I want to say thank you to you both for taking the time and for sharing this story, and we'll do our best to get up there and be among the first to be in the new Worship and Music Center. Thanks again for being here today.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for being with us today on Lutherans Alive. We hope you've enjoyed this opportunity to hear about a new ministry being made possible by the love and support of Christians here in Western Pennsylvania who see the value of outdoor ministry and want to promote the ministry at Camp Lutheran. Until next time, this is Lutherans Alive. Good day, and God bless you.